Hey there, welcome to Everyday Serpent Crusher. I'm Janet Mylan. About a week ago, we finally had a beautiful sunny day here in Pennsylvania. Now, spring in Pennsylvania, at least in central PA, is weird. So when a sunny day happens, it's like, yes, finally. And it's like mid-May and we have a sunny day. So I was pumped about that. I had the day off my job at Love It Boutique where I work. So I chose to just sit in the sun for a while, and it was wonderful. It was just wonderful to sit there, blue sky, sunny sun shining down on me. It was just wonderful. And as I sat, I had this view of our yard. So just facing the yard. And I began thinking about what I would like to do with our yard, kind of dreaming about it. And I was thinking about these things. I was thinking about, we could put up a gazebo over, in the corner there. Or we could move a fire pit here, or we could put in a garden with raised beds. Maybe this is the year I'll become a gardener of vegetables, or more rose bushes. I love rose bushes, and maybe I could put in more rose bushes or more bird feeders, because that's the phase of life I'm in currently, where apparently I feel like I own all the birds in my yard. And right now I'm pumped about the goldfinches. So that's what I was thinking. And all this thinking led me to like another line of thinking. So a day or two before, I studied through Proverbs chapter 31. And so this chapter of the Bible is most known for outlining what a woman of noble character is like. And I've read it. I've been a Christian since I was 13. I'm going to be 52. So I've read it many times over those decades and studied it intentionally a few times. And more recently, and I'll show those who are on the video can see, recently I was going through the book of Proverbs and putting a W beside every proverb that has something to do with work in it, because I just was like processing what does work look like for me after, quitting my job. Was that end of 2024, I believe it was. And what does work look like and all that. And a lot of the W's were here in Proverbs 31, www, like work. So I had gone through and just where I'd written W's for work and just like put little notes to the book of Proverbs about what that specific verse about work was about. And so I had gone through Proverbs 31 in that way, intentionally. And it's wild. If you're like new to studying the Bible, it is a wild book, because you can study a scripture many times and have it like it's like this never-ending well of wisdom, just more things come out of it. You think you've heard it a million times, and you read it again, you're like, wait, I didn't see that before. So I was thinking about this Proverbs 31 chapter again, and someone would read Proverbs 31, they find it kind of daunting, and maybe there's a season when I felt that way, but now that I'm in my 50s, I see it more as like a celebration of like the incredible creation that is a woman. She's strong, smart, caring, creative, skilled, so many things. So I really enjoy reading it now. I don't feel like guilty or anything about it. But the verse that was standing out to me as I stared at our yard was verse 16. So Proverbs 31:16 says this: "She considers a field and buys it. Out of her earnings, she plants a vineyard." So she considers a field and buys it, and out of her earnings, she plants a vineyard. I love that verse because it shows the wisdom and fruitfulness of this woman of noble character. Like, she's carefully checking out a piece of property with the goal of making it fruitful. And like, isn't that what we do as women? Isn't that kind of who we are? It seems we naturally want to nurture things in order to help them grow and produce. Whether it's children, other people, businesses, dinner, our homes, our bodies, whatever, we're often thinking, how can I make this become even more than it already is? How does this produce even more life than it already does? And it makes me think of my friend Ashley McDonald, which she has a podcast out now, which I'll put a link to it in my show notes. She's incredible. And she says about herself, like, I have a growth mindset. Like, I don't want people to stay where they are. I want them to grow. Like, she is this Proverbs 31 verse 16 woman more than anybody else I know. I think she is like, let's make this more fruitful. Let's grow this. Let's nurture it and grow it. That's who she is. So like, that's what I was doing with my yard. And I thought about how women in different seasons with different giftings might be viewing their yard to make it produce fruit. So I was looking at it like, mainly from a gardening perspective. I was thinking like, oh, my kids aren't like little and playing in the yard anymore. Like what do I want our yard to look like? And um, but I thought about other women in different seasons. So some women may want to put in a playground or pool. The first thing they look at might be, oh, I need a place for my kids. How can I maximize this space so my kids can play safely and have a great time doing it in our yard? Some maybe would look at it and say they want to make it a place to entertain and like just capitalize on hospitality in their yard. How can I do this and this and this? I want to put this in and put the couches in or whatever to make it more hospitable for guests. Some would be figuring out how to make it a beautiful space for like the child or the grandchild to get married. You know, I've had several friends over the years who are like, okay, we need to do the flower beds because my daughter's going to get married in our yard or whatever. So that might be what they're looking at. Some would plant a flower garden for beauty and fragrance and of course the pollinators. That's their number one goal. Some would prioritize a garden for sustenance, like bursting with fruits and vegetables and things that they can actually eat or can or preserve. Others will be doing the math on putting up fencing to keep in animals. Like all of these women are looking at the field with eyes of fruitfulness and growth in mind. And that made me really happy as I thought about all the women I know who are either literally or metaphorically considering fields to plant vineyards. So women I know who are entrepreneurs, ministry leaders, moms, grandmas, career women, artisans, musicians, farmers, business partners, like just people who are just wanting who are strong connectors and who are like looking to make money to buy groceries, whatever it may be. There are so many incredible women with hearts for growth and nurturing. So here's my question for you. Is there a woman in your life who is looking to grow something and she needs your encouragement, your wisdom, your money? She needs your money, your audience, maybe you have an audience that you could share, or your gifts to help plant that vineyard. Is there something, some way that this woman needs your encouragement in her life? If so, get it done, sister. Get it done. Let's help each other consider fields and plant vineyards because it's so much fun to watch other things grow and our sisters' lives. Like this is really cool stuff. And we need each other to do it. Like, let's plant vineyards together. Let's do this together and grow things together and see how much fruit we can help produce in each other's lives together. It's very cool. So in the meantime, I definitely want to get more bird feeders because I need more goldfinches in my yard. I need more goldfinches, more of them.